September 6th, Tye Ruotolo made his MMA debut at One Fight Night 35. But let me tell you a little bit about his opponent. 19-year-old fighter, he's coming in undefeated, 3-0. He started fighting or started training MMA at age 3, had his first fight at age 4. We could also see from some of the tape, he shows some good grappling. He's a brother to Christian Lee, who is the 2-division champion in one championship. He holds the current lightweight and welterweight championship belts. He is brother to Adrian Lee, who was the 1 atomweight world champion. She fought 5 times, was undefeated before she vacated the belt. He is also brother to Victoria Lee, who actually signed in September 2020 at the age of 16, becoming the youngest fighter in one championship. She won 3 fights in a row, and then she took a break to get back to finishing high school. However, she passed away a few years later, where she had tragically taken her own life in 2022. A tragic story, but just goes to show that Adrian Lee is from a fighting dynasty, and he is being trained by his brother Christian Lee. So a very tough opponent for Tye Ruotolo to get his first match with. They clearly were not trying to slowly build him up. As long as we've been hearing about Tye Ruotolo, he is still only 22 years old and making his debut. It seems like I've been hearing about the Ruotolo brothers pretty much since I've been training. He's coming in, he's been training with his brother, training with Eric Paulson. So he's competing at lightweight, which is the same weight as his brother, Kade Ruotolo. I wonder if this will ever mean that they're going to battle each other. I've seen some video footage of them scrapping. So I'm sure they could, but I don't know if they ever would, since they're always in each other's corners. One championship allows knees to ground opponents. They used to have soccer kicks allowed. They don't allow soccer kicks anymore. So we see the matchup. Lee is 19, Ruotolo 22, almost the same height, same weight, 1 inch reach advantage for Tye. Pretty even as far as their physicality goes. Now, interesting thing about One, especially in this, they're going to be using global rules, which means that they're going to judge the fight as a whole, meaning that they will not only count round for round and total the points. That way, they will judge the whole fight as just one big round. Adrian Lee representing Singapore/USA. Round 1. Tye opens with a kick and then shoots the single. Adrian Lee kind of does the splits and overhook, gets back on top, but Tye still has that leg wrapped. He's got the body lock and the leg locked and the leg wrapped, takes him down, gets straight into side mount, and Lee is able to recover the guard. Constantly trying to tie Tye's hands up. He's going to the body and to the head with some punches, but nothing with too much damage. Goes for a can opener. And then Lee goes for an armbar from the bottom, from the guard. Tye slams his way out of it and pulls his arm out. Lee with a nice up kick. Tye gets right back into the closed guard. But Tye with that constant attack from the top position. Ruotolo brothers known for their top pressure and constant desire to pass back into the closed guard. Lee holds the upper body, completely defensive. He's still hasn't been able to launch any offense from this up to this point. Tye is definitely up ahead in this round, doing much better, throwing a few elbows from the top, hammer fist to the body, 1 to the head. Tye staying aggressive, and Lee is always aggressive with that guard, threatening the triangle. Tye stands up to get out of it. Oh, and he gets hit with an up kick. Looks like that might have rocked him a little bit. Tye tries to pass the guard, but keeps getting caught in Lee's guard. He's not able to pass. And then Tye gets into the mount with a minute left. Lee, in desperation, goes to grab onto his body to prevent a lot of damage. Tye tries for a smother choke, a mother's milk choke, but no doing with that. Lee is able to nullify that, grabbing high on Tye's body, prevents Tye from getting any momentum to throw punches, throws him forward, and he does the leg reaching over to reverse the mount. Escapes full mount, and he starts throwing hands with Tye. Lee is very aggressive with the hands. In the corner, Kade Ruotolo gives the advice, get back to jiu-jitsu, get past his guard, let's use jiu-jitsu, let's use what we're good at. Round 2, Adrian Lee comes out looking more active, looking like he wants to win for sure. Tye with the head kick, then the low kick. Adrian gets Tye into the corner with some hooks. Tye has a nice, pretty good jab. He switches to the southpaw position, Tye, looking like he's going to get ready to shoot, get his front leg closer to Lee's left leg. Get that shoot ready. Another head kick. He looks pretty good from both sides. It looks like he has decent striking on both the orthodox and the southpaw stance. Oh, he's back to orthodox again, and then back to southpaw. Tye, when he's in the southpaw position, you can get ready. You can know that probably there's going to be a shoot coming. Oh, from the orthodox position, he grabs for the single, switches it to a double leg. And they get up right against the fence. He sits him down. He has him in the half guard position, steps forward. Now he's in quarter guard, then he steps right over into the mount. Lee is trying to use the ropes to kick off. It's very tricky on the bottom, very hard to hold him down. Tye starts to set up an armbar. Boom, he's got the armbar. Lee used the ropes to step over to defend the armbar. It was not quite there, but almost there. He gets out, Tye is still on top. They're right up against the ropes. Dr. Warren pushing them back in, goes right up back against the ropes. Tye has him in the corner right against the turnbuckle, as we used to call it back in the WWF days. Got his head sticking out of the ropes. The ref is calling for head inside. Ugh, I don't love the rope for this, man. It involves too much referee interaction. Tye sits back and pulls him to take his back, starts to reach over, setting up the rear naked choke. Both of their heads are outside. The referee's trying to pull them back inside. And while he's pulling them back inside, or while he's trying to stop Lee, Tye is still going. Tye says, let me finish him. Tye says, let me finish him. The ref puts them back into the position, into a seatbelt position. Tye immediately lets go with the hand to go back to a choke position. Lee is trying to fight the hand, the closing hand. Not the choking hand, though. Hard to pull it off in those gloves. And yikes. He is devastated. Is he going to sleep? Let me see. I'm not sure if he's asleep, but I don't know. This is my problem with the ropes. Too much referee interaction. I do love the aesthetic of the ropes, but it's just, they're so impractical as for these exchanges. When you get caught in the corner, you got to be like trying to pull your head back in, when even though putting your head out would be escaping the punches. You got the doctor pushing on the knee here to push them back in. Then you got the referee pulling them, stopping them mid-exchange, pulling them back inside. And then, I mean, I think Tye had him in the choke before anyways, but it's just so different fighting off the choke when you're in the motion of the grappling exchange is not the same as when you put them back into an almost finished position and you say go, because then whose go are we going on, or who goes first? But not the fault of the fighters. I think the ref and the officials did as good as they could possibly do in this situation, just to not have them fall out of the ring, which would have been a big problem. But yeah, the ropes can be a problem for MMA matches, or grappling matches at that. But shout out to Tye Ruotolo winner by rear naked choke. First MMA fight, round 2 finish. Also shout out to Adrian Lee for taking the fight against a brand new guy when he was already on a streak like that. Hopefully he does well in the future as well. Adrian, 19 years old, bright future. Tye Ruotolo gets a bonus as well. Both Kade and Tye Ruotolo in the winners column. It'll be interesting to see how these guys continue. Are they going to stay in one championship? I'm not sure what the future is for one championship. They seem to kind of be transitioning more over to Muay Thai. A lot of Muay Thai fights. Their base is in Thailand now. A lot of striking in most of their events. So that seems to be their focus. Both Kade and Tye, if they really want to push their MMA forward, I don't know where do they go? Do they stay in one championship? And how many high-level lightweight fighters are there going to be? What's going to happen when the brothers are both at the top of their division? Does one move up to welterweight? I think that's probably most likely that one of them will probably move up to another weight. I really don't see them fighting each other. They train together. They have a business together. They have a gym together. Yeah, I don't know. What are they going to do? I expect both of them are going to go really well in this. And I like that, even though Tye was using a lot of striking and trying to mix it up, he still went back to his roots. He still went back to jiu-jitsu. You saw Tye kind of take off in the grappling. Actually, he was taking off in the grappling in the first round. He had top control for the whole first round. So it just shows you specialty can still do it. Specialty still seems to do it in MMA. I think what the Ruotolo brothers have is special as far as their skill set. They've been coming up, they've been training for a long time and competing for a long time, and they have the athletic ability, they have the speed, they're very dynamic, they're always moving. If you ever watch them compete in grappling, they're generally just not as boring as watching most jiu-jitsu matches. They have a very fast-paced style. Great transition for MMA. Tye Ruotolo, congratulations. Andrew Lee, tough match, but 19 years old, surrounded by other great MMA fighters. I think he should do quite well in the future as well.